Yeah, my husband, Tony, had leukemia, and so obviously he was at high risk, and he should have shielded in normal circumstances. But because he had to have 2 weekly transfusions, he still unfortunately had to go up to Gloucester Hospital for those, and so there was no real way of him isolating. And the week just before lockdown, he went up on the 24th of March and sadly contracted the disease. We think there. I mean, I can't be certain that it was there, but he came down about 4 or 5 days later with it. The worst aspect of it was the fact that I couldn't go to visit Tony, obviously, and that I had to be told that he died over the telephone by a nurse, who was very sympathetic, but it's not quite the same, and I've never really sort of got over that feeling that I just wasn't there. So. I had fairly classic symptoms. I had an awful headache, and I was actually sick, and I had fever and aches and pains, and a cough. But fortunately, in my case, the cough wasn't too severe. So I was quite unwell, I would say. Yes, quite unwell. Yeah. She was in quite a bad state, really, because her father had just died, and I was possibly, quite possibly at my age, going to die or be very ill. And so it was a very difficult time for her, because it was 3 weeks before she could come down to see me. Fortunately, the funeral wasn't until after that, so she was able to be here for the funeral. Yeah. I think until you're touched by something like this, it's perhaps quite difficult to take it seriously enough. And I think when, particularly with young people, you obviously tend to feel that you're quite fit and well and that it won't affect you. But in fact, that may not be the case. It could affect you very seriously. And I think people must be aware that they just have to be very careful with whom they mix, and just take great care, and really all the precautions that we can.